Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 200 subscriber special. I put a poll and y'all decided for me to do an FAQ when we got to 200 subs. We actually got to 200 subs quite a while ago, but I just had trouble getting questions. I asked on YouTube, I made posts on Twitter, and then I finally had to just make one on Discord as well to try to get some questions in there because I only had like 3 after a week or so. But anyways, I finally got enough questions, I think, to talk about for a video, and we're gonna be hopping around Twitter, and then we're gonna go to YouTube and then my Discord to answer all the questions. So the first question we got is from Ray, and it says, what Genshin Impact character would you like to spend the day with, and why? And which vision would you like to have, and the everyday uses you get out of it? First of all, that's like 2 questions. Those are 2 different questions. Right there. What the heck? 1 question, man. But I'll answer both. The first one's actually kind of hard because there's a lot of like practical uses for each. So for example, like I don't go out a lot, so obviously when we're talking about which vision I would like to have, I'm thinking like very practical uses here. So like for example, it gets really hot here in the summer, so having hydro or cryo would be nice to like cool off, but then it would be useless, you know, in the winter months. And then vice versa, if I do pyro, electro could be useful all year round. I could use it to charge my devices. You know, if the power ever goes out, then I could just maybe use my electrovision for that. I could keep my phone charged. One of my biggest fears actually is when I'm driving and I have to drive to like a faraway place and my car dies. I would hopefully be able, depending on what the car problem is, if it was like the battery dying or something, I would be able to charge up my car or something with my electrovision. But yeah, I would probably pick electro just because I would get daily use out of it. I think either that or hydro. I don't know what I would do with dendro, geo, or animo, but yeah, I think it would have to be electro or hydro. Hydro, I would just refill my water without having to leave my PC. Very practical uses there. And the character I would like to spend the day with is probably one of the Archons. Any of them, just because, except maybe Nahida, but because they would have a lot to talk about. Actually, maybe Nahida would be also fun to talk about, but like, I mean, like story-wise, like Zhongli probably has a ton of stories to talk about because he's lived for so long. Same with Raiden Shogun, maybe Venti if he wants to share any of his stories as well. So any of the Archons would definitely be fun to spend the day with. Another character that comes to mind is Hu Tao. As long as we're not advertising her business, I wouldn't mind. And I wouldn't want to spend the day with any of the like childlike characters in the game, like Chi-Chi, Klee, Sayu. And I also wouldn't want to spend the day with sleepy characters like Ganyu, Layla, and Sayu again. So double no on Sayu. Because if I were to spend a day with any of the kid characters, it'd feel like babysitting. And then I don't want to spend a day with somebody who's just tired and sleepy all the time. Next question is from Kaori and asks, pancakes, waffles, French toast, or crepe? Crepe? Pancakes. Easy. Actually, the way the order you have the question in is probably my, you know, like most favored to least favored. I actually haven't tried crepe though. Crepe, I don't know how to say it. Alright, YouTube is probably the worst way to communicate with y'all. I guess, or YouTube posts I should say. But we have 2 questions here that we can answer. The other 2 comments here are from something else. But we have one from Caloy Sky. Do you stream, and would love to watch you play / pull for characters? I do stream, but I haven't been streaming Genshin on my Twitch channel lately because I just do all the Genshin stuff on my YouTube these days. I find that streaming Genshin, it's hard for me to do because there's not a lot I can do in 4 hours, right? There's only so much resin I can spend. Like, yeah, when there's a new update that comes out and there's like a new story quest, sure, I'll do that. But a lot of the people that watch me play Genshin, obviously, and, you know, they'll be like, oh, it's cool, but like, I don't want to like spoil the story or whatever is happening, so I can't watch. And it's like understandable, but, you know, it's like, well, I don't really see the point in streaming Genshin. Like when Sumeru came out, I probably streamed it a bit there just because I did some of the exploration on stream, and it was cool. But obviously we're not always getting a new region or a new area to explore every update, so I don't really have much reason to stream Genshin these days. I just mainly do it all on YouTube. But I still do stream if you guys want to stop by, although I stream pretty late at night in my time zone. I stream from 10 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 10 to 10:30, and I end around 2:30 a.m. So it's pretty late. But I do stream a variety of games. I just beat Elden Ring. We're currently playing Pokemon Colosseum because I'm too broke for the new Pokemon game. And I stream a bunch of other stuff. I'm a variety streamer on there. Sammer Jammer asks, what are your top 5 games? I feel like I answered this question to you before specifically, but top 5 games off the top of my head, and these are interchangeable because I like a lot of different games. And I'm gonna assume this like does not include Genshin, because Genshin is definitely up there. Obviously, I wouldn't have a whole YouTube channel dedicated to a game if I didn't like it in some way, but we're just gonna assume Genshin is already a top game for me, but just like 5 different ones. First off, it's gonna be Resident Evil 2 Remake, then Silent Hill 2, Bioshock Infinite, Final Fantasy X, Bloodborne. Those are gonna be my top 5 games that I can think of off the top of my head. I like a lot of different games, and again, those are interchangeable. The way just because I said Resident Evil 2 Remake first doesn't mean it's like the best game ever. Those are my top 5 games. I like them all. I like different games. I usually like horror games though, if I had to pick a genre. Horror is definitely the favorite because it has a lot of interesting stories to tell. But yeah, when it comes to video games, I like ones that tell really, really good stories, which is why I'm still invested and interested in Genshin, because it has a really good story when it's not doing filler stuff. All right, last but not least, we're gonna go to my Discord for the last bit of questions here. But let's go ahead and get this started. So Samurai asked another question: favorite Genshin VA or favorite VA in general, and favorite VA in general. A lot of the voice actors in Genshin, at least I played in the Japanese voice acting, right? And I do this because a lot of the voice actors are from animes that I have watched, and I really like those animes. Like for example, Hu Tao, right, is Megumin from Konosuba. And I really like the character, and I really like the voice actress's personality, so I would say she's definitely a favorite. Ayaka also as well. She is Yumeko Jabami from Kakaguri, the gambling anime. I really like that one a lot, so I have a lot of favorites. Diluc is also Giorno Giovanna from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5. Like, there's a lot of favorites, and that's why I prefer to play in the Japanese dub. Which Genshin Impact food sounds best to try IRL? I don't know a lot of the food off the top of my head. We're actually gonna have to go in-game for that one, so give me a sec. Alright, so we're gonna go in-game for this question. It's a good question, by the way, because I don't know all the food in the game, because I don't really cook that much anymore. It was more of a beginning in the game kind of thing, but there's a lot of food in Genshin, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing some of the recipes that I could have bought. I would definitely like to try all the drinks. They even have pizza, but I don't like that much toppings on my pizza. Honestly, if I had to pick a dish that I'd want to try, maybe the Adeptus's Temptation. Because if you read the description, apparently it's so good that it made the Adepti return to the world of men. That's very interesting. It just says it's selected ingredients are submerged in a slowly boiled soup stock. So it looks like there's ham and some crab and some shrimp boiled in this soup, and it's just so good that it makes Adepti want to come back to the world of humans. So maybe I'd like to give this one a try, but for the rest, like tonkatsu ramen is actually my favorite ramen by default. Like I've already tried this, so it's good. And then there's like a lot of meat stuff which I've already tried, and I think would be pretty good. Maybe the Matsutake meat rolls. This also sounds pretty interesting to try. So yeah, probably either this or whatever this magical dish is would be the ones I want to try. Do you like long walks on the beach? Unironically, yes. The beach is my favorite place to go to. I'm not very extroverted and I don't like to go outside a lot, but if I had the option to choose, I would love to go to the beach all the time. It's just that going to the beach for me is not practical because it's not close to me. Like, I'd have to drive through a bunch of traffic, and even when you do get there, especially in like summer when it's like really hot, it's just gonna be super crowded, and good luck finding a spot unless you showed up at like 6 a.m. So it's not really ideal, but I do like to go to the beach. I think it would be fun to walk with my dogs. Which anime do you like the most and why? I haven't really been watching anime recently, although like, not as much as I used to. Like, I used to watch anime and nothing but for like years, and then I kind of got tired of it. I started watching like live action shows or just just like regular TV shows or movies instead. If I had to pick an anime that was really good, probably Violet Evergarden was a really good series. It's a short series, which I like. I don't like anime that's like 5,000 episodes long, like like One Piece, Naruto, and stuff like that. I like really short, condensed stories, not something that lasts forever. And Violet Evergarden has really good animation quality and a really good story. And it's something, again, you can just watch in... I don't know if you can handle it, but you could watch it in one sitting and it would be great. And it also has a movie. I haven't seen the movie. There's supposed to be like I don't know if it's like an epilogue or what, but I'll definitely need to check that out. Edmar asks, I don't know if I already asked this in a previous Q&A, but what video game world would I like to live in? I feel like that question's been asked before, but I don't mind answering it again. Pokemon would be a really cool world to live in. And then obviously Genshin Impact would also be a cool one to live in. Assuming I get if I get a vision, for sure. I still think Pokemon would be better because anybody can be a Pokemon trainer, right? If kids are doing it in that world, then hey, I can be a Pokemon trainer. In Genshin, not everyone gets a vision, so I think it would be just like really boring if I didn't have a vision to live in Genshin Impact world, Teyvat. But yeah, I would definitely just say Pokemon is probably the go-to for a lot of people. I'm sorry I don't have a unique answer for that one. We're gonna skip Relvant's question because he didn't read when I said one question per person. The next question is from Jay, and it asks, Panda, with you being so straight edge, will you ever try the weeds one day? And congrats on the... I wish it was 200k subs. No, weed smells like a word I can't say on YouTube. It smells awful. I don't want to try it just because it smells terrible. I don't even drink like heavily. I've tried alcohol drinks, but not all of them, obviously. Just not for me. Why is everyone saying that's a great question, by the way? What the heck? Great question, Jay. That's a great question, Lamau. And then we have a bunch of questions from Homegrown. He also said I could just pick the one I was interested to answer. I'll answer two, just because Homegrown is nice. But first question is booba or cheeks? Personality is the answer to that question. I don't really care what the girl looks like, because they could have great booba or great cheeks, but if their personality is trash, then what's the point? And then I'll answer, if you could run a country, which one would it be? I would definitely want to run a smaller country, not a very big populated place. Like, obviously, like trying to run America or the United States would be awful. China would be awful. Like, oh my god, there's just like so many people. Like, I would not want to run a country that big. Like a island country Maybe like Vietnam or something, or Singapore maybe. I think that would be a lot easier. Maybe even then that's still too big. Like what's a really, really small island nation? Like the less people I have to run, the better, because then it won't be so like crazy. All right, I'm gonna skip all the rest of those questions. Sorry. This video is getting long enough as it is. And then the last two questions we have is from Drad, and he says, apologies if this question's a bit strange. When it comes to your community as a whole, what are your thoughts on it and its members? That is a strange question, because how else would you answer that? It's like, what do you think about the people that take the time out of their day to watch you stream all the time or to watch your videos all the time? Well, I appreciate them a lot. Just I would with any, anyone from my community and its members. I'm happy with, it's like growing a tree. You're happy that you're like, hey, I made this. I grew this. This is mine. So of course you're gonna appreciate it. And if you don't, well, then maybe you should have planted a different tree. But yeah, sorry for the basic answer, but I like my own community, and I like it, the members of it. Like it's what do you call it? Like I can't stream or make these videos without a community and its members. So of course I'm gonna be appreciative of them. And then the last question comes to us from Drag, who asks, is there a YouTuber you strive to be like one that you think makes good videos? For this Genshin channel, there's one that comes to mind, and if you guys have watched my streams, we've watched his videos a couple times. It's I Win to Lose Gaming. The way he structures his videos is very, very like neat and organized, and he does like a lot of math and calculations. So like not only does he just like showcase in, like when he does like a DPS showcase or whatever, or like when he's looking at a weapon, or like comparing a character with different types of gear and stuff, like he actually backs it up with a bunch of numbers. And yeah, it's just overall lots of effort into his videos that I am nowhere near close to putting. But if we're talking about my main channel, which by the way I don't really upload to anymore, my main channel, I don't really have any YouTubers in mind. I guess I used to be, I made a video on this a long time ago, but it used to be Cryotic. Used to be one of my favorite YouTubers. He was a Let's Player. But if you guys kept up with what happened to him, he is not a good person, and he has disappeared from the internet because of it. And so I don't really have a YouTuber influence, at least outside of my Genshin channel anymore. But there's still some YouTubers I enjoy. But that doesn't mean I want to be like them or make videos similar to theirs. And with that being said, that is it for the FAQ. Thank you everyone that asked the question. I appreciate it. We'll try to do this again in the future for the next milestone, which should be, what do you guys think? 300 subs? 350? 400? We can do this again at 300 subs, for sure. But thank you all again, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.